Before Claude Cowork, I was spending roughly $4,500 a month on help. There's a part-time copywriter I had for about $2,500 a month, a creative director for $1,000 a month, and another $1,000 for a random freelance worker for things like presentations, research, and email drafts. That's $54,000 a year gone. Now, my entire operation runs on Claude Max, which is only $100 a month, and that's $1,200 a year I'm spending versus $54,000 a year. That's a 97.8% reduction in operational costs. Now, I run a near 7-figure AI business, but look at all the companies that are 8 figures, 9 figures. If you're able to reduce their expenses by even 70%, you're able to profit multiple 6 to 7 figures. But to build these enterprise level AI operating systems, first you got to understand how to build AI employees. And to do that, we're going to build some skills using Claude Cowork. Now remember what we said earlier, a skill in Claude Cowork is basically a set of instructions that lives inside of a file. You create it once, and every time you start a new session in Cowork, Claude reads all your active skills and knows exactly how to behave. It's like hiring someone and giving them a training manual on their first day, except this employee memorizes the entire manual instantly and never forgets a single word. This is also why Claude Cowork is legitimately replacing employees at multi-million-dollar corporations. Now, there are 2 ways to build your first Claude skill. You can write them manually, which I do not recommend unless you already know what you're doing and you can create a proper skill MD file. Or you can do what I do and what 99% of people do, and that's use a skill creator, which comes built inside Cowork. Now here's how the skill creator works. You open a new Cowork session and you tell Claude something like, I want you to create a skill that does X. So let's say I want to create a skill that writes YouTube video scripts in my voice and style, since I'm obviously a YouTuber. Claude Cowork will ask you clarifying questions, things like what's your tone, what format do you use, do you have example scripts it can study, how long the script should be. Then you got to answer those questions, maybe feed it a few of your existing scripts or documents as reference material, and then Claude will draft the first version of the skill for you. Now, the cool thing about Claude is that it will actually test its own self when it's working with these skills and making sure that's actually writing scripts that you like, and it'll ask you for approval. Now, the first time you write a skill, it might not be the best. I'm saying it'll probably be 70 to 80% of what you want, but the magic happens when you actually use a skill for real or the next 2 weeks. Every time you use a skill and you don't like something it does, you can always tell it, hey, make the hook punchier, make the ending be a pointer to the next video. Don't use a generic CTA, have a stronger CTA. And Claude will do what most people don't. See, Claude has memory. It memorizes everything. It'll remember your feedback across sessions, and it'll implement the exact feedback you give it to refine its skills. This is something you wish every employee of yours would probably do. And this is how you can turn your skills from 60%, 70% success rate to 95% success rate. But here's a massive mistake I see people make. They try to build one giant skill that does everything. This is not what you want to do. The results from one massive skill are significantly worse than having multiple focused skills. Now, think about it like this. In a real company, you don't hire one person to do marketing, accounting, script writing, customer support, and design. You hire specialists. Granted, these specialists might cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. However, Claude Max only costs $100 a month. Now, with AI skills, you want a script writing skill, a LinkedIn post skill, an ideation skill, a research skill, a finance reporting skill. Each skill should be the equivalent of one employee in a business that's doing just one thing. And that's why you saw I have a bunch of different skills, all for just YouTube itself, but each skill has its own purpose. I'm not using one big skill that does everything all in one. At least not yet. One of the mentees I work with in my coaching program messaged me showing me some of the skills he made for his personal AI business. And you can see that he's been cooking. Another mentee built his own UI creation skill that builds UIs that rival Apple and Google. And you can also give your skills to your friends or your business partners, and they can use the exact same skills you use for their own business, or you can use their skills for your business. Skills this, skills that. Okay, how do you turn these skills into genuine AI employees? Because right now, each individual skill is like a mini employee, but they can't really replace an actual human who gets paid $65,000, $70,000 a year. Well, let's change that. See, this is what people do. They have a script writing skill, they have a research skill, and they think that's it, right? They're using Cowork as a fancy ChatGPT. No, that's leaving 90% of the power on the table. Here's what you actually want to do. Now that you have a bunch of mini skills together, maybe a bunch of finance skills, a bunch of content creation skills, or a bunch of lead management skills, you want to chain skills together into workflows that mimic what an actual employee would do throughout their entire workday. Let me give you a real example from my content business. I have what I call my content director. It's not one skill, it's a chain of skills that work together. When I tell Claude, plan and script my next batch of videos, here's what actually happens behind the scenes. It's not just one big skill that I'm using. First, the ideation skill kicks in. It goes and researches my competitors' channels, finds what's trending in my niche, calculates view multipliers to see which videos are outperforming, and generates 9 video ideas tagged by the funnel stage, like top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, or bottom of the funnel. If you don't understand funnels, I have a future video coming on that soon. Then, after the ideation is done, the script write skill takes over. It takes those 9 ideas and writes full scripts in my exact voice, my sentence structure, my expressions, my humor, and my pacing. And if you don't find my videos funny, then I guess I'm not humorous. But once it does that, it organizes everything, all the scripts and video ideas into a content calendar with upload dates and upload order. All that is done with just one command, which is plan and script my next batch of videos, and I get 9 researched video ideas with scripts and a publishing calendar. That's not a tool, that's a content director. And for most businesses, that will cost them about $5,000 a month to hire a human who could do all that to such a high extent. $5,000 a month. You're literally saving $60,000 a year with just one Claude subscription. Coolest part is Claude Cowork is smart enough to automatically figure out which skills to use based on what you're asking. You don't have to manually tell it use skill A, then skill B, then skill C. You just describe the task and Cowork looks at all your active skills and decides which ones apply. So once your skills are set up, you're literally just talking to your AI employees like you would talk to a real person. Hey, plan my next videos. Hey, see how many leads I got in my sales funnel. Hey, how many book calls did I have this week? Hey, how many sales did my company make this week? Hey, how is my LinkedIn post performing? How are the ad campaigns we have running? What's the CPM on them? What's the CPC? You can track everything and your employees can do all the work for you. And this is where we get into that one-person CEO framework I mentioned at the beginning. So the structure of most AI businesses is you're a CEO, then you have a marketer, or you have a developer. Now, sometimes you're all three, sometimes you might have partners in different departments. But if you don't have any partners and you're a one-person AI business, it can be kind of hard doing the marketing, development, and the CEO duties. So here's how you can use AI employees to handle that. Starting from the development, I have a skill that handles technical research. When I'm exploring a new app idea or a new AI tool to integrate into a client project, I tell Cowork, research this technology, find out what it can do, how people are using it, and write me a tutorial script combining it with this other tool. Let's say I'm trying to connect Claude Code and Google Stitch or like Obsidian and Claude Code. So my AI employee goes out, searches the web for the latest documentation, finds real use cases, reads through forums and communities, and comes back with a comprehensive breakdown. Plus a draft script if I want to turn it into a video because it knows that I'm a content creator. And then on the development side for actual coding, I still use Claude Code for building apps, but the planning, the research, the documentation, the feature specs, the feature list, all that is handled in my Cowork skills. So if on the development side, all I really have to do is copy and paste that into one prompt in Claude Code. Now on the marketing side, which I know most people hate marketing, they struggle with it, I built a LinkedIn director that runs my entire LinkedIn strategy. It generates 10 to 12 post ideas based on what's trending, what drives leads to my agency, and what positions me as authority in my niche. Then it writes 2 variations of every single post in my exact voice and organizes them into a posting calendar, all from one command. And this LinkedIn strategy and social media strategy applies not just AI service-based businesses, but also AI product-based businesses like apps and digital products. And on the YouTube side, I also have a ideation and research skill that helps me plan my videos. And as you saw, it also script write my videos for me. So my entire marketing team is literally AI-ified. I have no people in my marketing team anymore. And funny enough, I'm working with 3 clients right now to replace their marketing teams with my exact AI employees. And the average deal size is $15,000. And these are all US clients. You might call this lazy, but when clients are willing to pay tens of thousands of dollars for this type of AI operating system, I call it smart.